Alright, so here's an example of graphing an ellipse. So it says the standard form for the equation of an ellipse with center at the origin and major and minor axes of lengths 2a and 2b, where a and b are positive, and a squared is greater than b squared is, and then here they are. X squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, or x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1. So if you notice the difference in the two is we have here the a squared is under x squared. Over here the a squared is under the y squared. Now the difference that makes, notice it says a squared is larger than b squared. Okay, so just remember a squared is the larger number of the two. That's how you know which one it is. All right, so the difference it makes, okay, if a squared, which is the larger of the two, is under the x squared, then your ellipse is going to look like this. The major axis is horizontal. And if the a squared, which is the larger of the two, is under the y squared, your ellipse is going to look like this. The major axis is vertical. And then you notice these points, negative C0, C0, and these two over here. Well, these are called the foci. And you can find the foci, that's c squared equals a squared minus b squared, and that will give you these coordinates here. Notice when the major axis is horizontal, your c value is your x coordinate, and when your major axis is vertical, your c value is your y value. And then the other thing I want to point out is notice that the equations for the ellipse, they're always equal to 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our example. So we want to graph this. We've got 25y squared plus 16y squared equals 400. Well, note it, if you remember what we just said, it has to equal 1, and this doesn't. So what we can do is we can divide by 400, because 400 divided by 400, that gives us 1. And remember, with an equation, if you divide one thing by 400, you have to divide everything by 400. All right, so what that's going to give us is that's going to give us x squared, and then these cancel, and 25 goes into 400 16 times, plus, and then here the 16 and the 400 cancel. 16 goes into 400 25 times, and that equals 1. All right, so now we're ready to find a and b, because remember, we need to know a and we need to know b. Same thing here, we need to know a and we need to know b. Now, if you notice in our problem, we had 16 here and 25 here. So our ellipse is going to look like this. The larger number is under the y squared, so that means our major axis is vertical. Okay, so here's our a values and here's our b values. All right, so let's go back to our problem. So here I have b squared is equal to 16, which means, and that's all this stands for, is implies, this implies that b equals 4, and then we have a squared is equal to 25, which implies a is equal to 5. Okay, and we can go ahead and find c. Well, we know c squared is equal to a squared, which is 25, minus b squared, which is 16, which equals 9. So that means that c is equal to 3. All right, so we've got everything we need. So let's take a look at the graph. Well, and also notice what this says is that the standard form for the equation of ellipse was center at the origin. So the center's at the origin, so that means it's at 0, 0. Okay, I'll have some examples where it's not. You can check those out in another video. I'll make a separate video for that. All right, so we know our center's at the origin. Okay, so there's our center. All right, so let's go ahead and do, well, let's plot our B. Now remember, the A, this is A squared. It's under the Y squared, so that means our major axis is vertical. So our B value is going to go this way, okay, our minor axis. All right, so this tells me that I've got to count 4 units in both directions from the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this is going to give me the point 4, 0, and this is the point -4, 0. And then I've got A is 5, so that tells me how I'm going up and down. Okay, I mean it is, you can pretty much tell here. Okay, B squared, that's under X. That tells me how I move on the X axis. A squared is under the Y, so that tells me how I move on the Y axis. That's another way you can look at it. All right, so A is 5, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this would be the point 0, -5, and this would be the point 0, 5. All right, and then let's go ahead and plot our foci. So that's here. See, just like right here. See, C is our Y because our horizontal axis is vertical. I mean, our major axis is vertical. So there's your C. That tells you how to move on the Y. All right, so let's get back. All right, so C is 3, so that means I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, and down 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, and then we can, I don't know how good this is going to look, but I'll do the best I can. And there's the ellipse. Okay, not the best drawn ellipse, but it works. All right, so we know this is the point 0, 3, and this is the point 0, -3. All right. All right, so subscribe to the videos, watch my other ones. I hope this helped, and thanks for watching.